Hi guys, I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about husbands that are not present in the home. Maybe you feel like your husband is lazy. Maybe you have a husband that comes home after work and he spends his time on his phone, or he plays video games, or there's a number of different things that can pull people away from their families, and maybe you just feel like there's some things going on in your family where your husband just isn't around or he's not involved so much, and you'd really like to see a change. And I think this is so, first of all, this is a really common problem in families, and I think the first thing we have to look at is we have to ask ourselves if we've done anything to contribute to this problem. Because I was a stay-at-home mom and my husband worked so hard, I always wanted to give him the opportunity to rest, and I never allowed him to get up in the middle of the night with the kids when they woke up. Matter of fact, it wasn't until we had our sixth baby and I was physically incapable of taking care of our baby because it was such a hard labor for me, and recovery was hard too, that I actually asked my husband if he would start helping, and he was more than willing to. But I do remember my husband telling me before we got married that he wasn't a mind reader, and if there was anything I ever needed him to do, all I had to do was ask. So it's something that I've always had in the back of my mind, that if I ever needed something, I could always ask him to do it. But if you're feeling like your husband is not involved and he's not contributing, and you feel like you'd like him to be a little bit more a part of the family, there's a really simple solution for fixing these kinds of issues as they come up. And it doesn't take any nagging, it doesn't take any yelling. You don't have to be frustrated about it. You literally just have to include your husband in the things that are going on. So after dinner, your husband doesn't get to go sit on the couch and be on his phone. After dinner, everyone gets to participate. So, maybe you get up and you and the kids, you start clearing the table. You could say something like, "Hey honey, I'm gonna be cleaning off this table. Do you mind sweeping the floor?" So it's just really simple. And this is just an example. Basically, it's just a question. You don't have to get upset, especially if you are the type of person that has really wanted to let your husband rest at times, and you haven't been one to really ask for much. It usually only takes you asking them to actually get up and do something, and you can be in a good mood to do it. You just simply ask. You say, "Hey, I'm needing a little help with this. Would you mind helping me?" Or you just say, "Hey, would you mind doing this for me?" And I can't really remember a time where my husband ever declined if I asked him for help. Now, if he may have been in the middle of doing something, he may say that, "Yeah, I can. Let me finish doing this. Is that okay?" But he's never denied helping me when I ask him to. So maybe you've asked your husband for help before, and the only thing you got from him was complaining, and eventually it just ended up with you both being irritated at each other. Perhaps you even got in an argument. I want to let you know there's even a solution for a husband that complains when you ask him to do something. And I'm not saying that you may not get complaining. What I'm saying is there's a solution for it, and it's really simple. One time I was going to go buy a truck, and I was talking to my dad about it. He gave me some really simple advice that paid off really well. He said, "This is what you think it's worth. Make your offer and don't say anything. And, if you don't say anything and you just wait for them to respond to you, be the last one to say something. Because they may complain about it, but if you don't say anything, then you will end up getting the thing that you want." So I took his advice, and I went and I made an offer on this truck, and the guy wanted $500 more for it than it was actually worth, but I didn't want to pay the extra $500, so I just made my offer, and we just waited there kind of in an awkward situation, and he kind of complained about it a little bit, but eventually he gave in and he let me have what I wanted. I've even done this similar thing with the children when I've asked them to do something, and I'll ask them nicely, and occasionally I'll get complaining and I don't say anything, but if I ask them, eventually they'll just say, "Okay, sure, I'll do it." And so you can apply the same thing to other people. You can apply it to a complaining husband. So I just want to encourage you that if you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling like as there's nothing you can do, it's out of your control, I just wanted to encourage you that there is a solution. All you have to do is ask, and usually you'll end up getting the things that you need.